What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? I have pulled some cards out here because I received some information in meditation yesterday, and it has a lot to do with I don't know about you, but I know I have, and I've been hearing a lot of people in the collective talk about, being gang stalked and having your energy vampirized, if that's even a word, right? But like having your energy siphoned, and the individuals that do it, they come into your energy field and they bombard your energy, right? They're trying to make it difficult for you to reach your fullest potential. But I did pull some cards on this download that I did get, this vision that I had, and what I heard from the matriarch. Okay. So I have my notes here. Okay, so this is all of my channelings that I received yesterday, and I sat on it for a while because I didn't want to rush it. But right out the gate, when I got into meditation, I heard your selfish butt, straight like that, just like that, right? And after I heard it, I was like, okay, so somebody's selfish. And at first I checked this, make sure it wasn't me. Okay, because we all can have these little tendencies or whatever. So I was like, no, they're not talking to me. So right after I heard that, I saw the weirdest vision. I saw a goat, right? And this goat was like covered in moss, green moss, gray moss, like the coat on the goat, the fur, what I don't know what they have, the hair, whatever they have, whatever that is called for them. Um, it was kind of mangy. It was kind of like it wasn't a kept goat. It looked more wild than anything. But the thing is that there was this huge tree, and the goat was just over and over ramming its head into the tree, right? And like I said, along the back side of the goat, it was like covered in vegetation, like moss and leaves, and like it was in the wild, right? Okay, cool. So right after I had the vision of this goat ramming its head into the tree, I heard, you wanted to make him understand you was spiritual. I don't know why, but that's the first time I said that particular one out loud, and it kind of really, really hit me. Someone in the collective, if you resonate thus far with what I'm about to say, someone in the collective has been going through some spiritual warfare, all right, with a hymn. That hymn could be a them, like it could be a them of hymns. Okay, it could be a multiple of hymns, but it could be one hymn. There has been someone in your energy that you've been having to protect your energy from. I'm seeing someone doing a lot of cleansing. You've been having to do more cleansings than the average person, maybe. You've been having to do a lot of saging. You've been having to do a lot of grounding. These people have been penetrating your dream state. All right. They have been warring with you. I'm picking up strong, divine, feminine woman that has been dealing with this, but it could also be a divine, feminine male. Okay, what I mean by that is that whether you are male or female, you have been tapping into the divine feminine side of you. Okay, because we're going to see later on when I start explaining the cards to you that this individual or these individuals, and the reason why I say these individuals is because I have the Freemasonry card out here. Okay, but I'm gonna break that down because that could be the organization, the Freemasons, or it could be speaking more to the rank and position that you are sitting at right now as a divine being. You could be sitting at the level of the 33rd degree. So it could be both. Okay, it could be both. Nevertheless, I heard you wanted to make him understand you was spiritual. So whoever you are showing up as a divine being. All right. You're showing up as someone who is very grounded and very rooted in what you believe. You are very well taught by your spirit team, by your ancestors. Okay. Even if you have mentorship here in the earth plane, you are very well taught. You are seasoned. That's what I'm hearing. You are a seasoned spiritual being. Okay. Um. Now, after I got that you wanted to make him understand you was spiritual, I heard Nebuchadnezzar. Okay. And if you used to be a Bible thumper or you still are, because on some degree I still am as well. It's a magical book. You have to, not be afraid of it or not throw it away because they fucked up the interpretation. Look, I'm not going to read all of this, but I heard Nebuchadnezzar, and immediately when the matriarch said Nebuchadnezzar, I knew what they were talking about. Nebuchadnezzar, King Nebuchadnezzar, went through a hard lesson because of his arrogance. These hymns these hymns that have been bombarding your space are full of arrogance. They are full of themselves. This goes back to the God complex. That's been coming up a lot lately. The God, people have these God complexes, okay? And this is what a lot of us who are trying to evolve, trying to grow, trying to devolve, whichever one you're trying to do. Me personally, I'm more on the devolve side because and I'm feeling led to share this, but evolution and devolution is two different things and they serve two different purposes, okay? And so I am on the devolve side of things, and that is how I choose to evolve because I recognize that the most ancient form of me is the most powerful. Okay, so that's for whoever that resonates with as well. Okay, but nevertheless, these people have a God complex. They're very arrogant. And like King Nebuchadnezzar, they're about to be taught a hard lesson, if they're not already being taught a hard lesson, for continuing to press themselves into the energy field of the spiritual beings who has already asked them to remove themselves, to not come my way. Don't come this way. I have High Priestess at the bottom of this deck, okay? I have Liberation at the bottom of this deck. And what they like to do is set traps. They have been setting traps because they want you to stay where you are. They want you to stay where you were. They don't want you to continue to move forward. But the mother is saying that you are moving towards singularity, individuation, divinity, deity. You are moving on as a divine soul. All right. And these individuals have been leaking and leeching through society, moving through society, okay? Moving through social media, seeking whom they may devour. But the mother has a word for them this morning, all right? It is 5:14 in the morning, 55. I've been seeing a lot of fives, a lot of 55, a lot of 505, a lot of 5505. You could be seeing a lot of that as well. There's change. There is change coming, okay? Because a lot of us have gone through a lot of um attack. All right, a lot of attack on your crown chakra, a lot of attack on your heart chakra, a lot of attack on every chakra you got. They have thrown everything they could at you. They have thrown their whole grimoire, and you're still here and you're still overcoming, and they don't want to get the message. Like King Nebuchadnezzar didn't want to get the message. His arrogance caused him to have to be humbled, right? So he had this dream, and you can check this out in Daniel chapter 4, okay? You could check this out in Daniel chapter 4. It's a really good story. It always stuck with me. But this is what I had a vision of. This is what I had a vision of. And Daniel comes in and he interprets the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. And it's very long, so I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read all of this. But to paraphrase it, King Nebuchadnezzar had received a warning by way of a dream. And Daniel really didn't want to interpret the dream because of what it said, right? But the part I want to just drop down here, after Nebuchadnezzar calls for Daniel and he asks Daniel to interpret the dream comes true at a certain point. Um, Let me read here, 4 and 28, Daniel 4 and 28. It says, now this is the dream being fulfilled. Okay, you can read the dream and the rest in the beginning of the chapter, but it says, all this came upon the king Nebuchadnezzar at the end of 12 months. He walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power? See, this is where the arrogance comes. See, this is the problem these people have, because they think that this world that we all share belongs to them. They think that it's by their power that they have created all of the things that we all get to experience as being on this earth plane, right? This is the same issue he had. The kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty. While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven, saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee. Okay? So these individuals, and you could be watching me, these hymns, these thems that like to bombard the energy of the divine collective, you could be watching me. And if you are watching me, the mother is about to humble you. Humble you. But it's for a good reason, okay? Listen. The kingdom is departed from you. The power, the control, the abuse, and everything that you've done with whatever power you think you have has departed from you. I want you to be clear about that. Let's keep reading. And they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever they will. Now, the scripture says he will. But see, this is why it's departing from you, because I am, and others are capable now of seeing that is not accurate. That he will is not accurate. They will, the mother and the father will strip you of the falsehood that you have created, and then you have the audacity to abuse ones who have removed themselves from the falsehood. Okay. The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like bird claws. And at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes unto heaven, and my understanding. See, this is the whole point. He says his understanding returned to him. This is why I say that this humbling that you're about to experience, for those of you who are watching, who are part of the hymns and the thems that like to bombard the spirits, the souls of the divine beings on this planet, you're going to remember. You're going to be made to remember who you are and who you are not. See, the mother father is not going to have you to continue to berate, to belittle, to abuse, to rape, to violate. She's not going to have you do that, okay, any longer. To those of you who have been experiencing this spiritual graping that has been taking place in invisible realms, right? Your adversary is about to be humbled. So I pulled some cards. I pulled some cards on it, all right, y'all, because I wanted to make sure, as being a part of the collective, that I understood, although I understood. Um, and what I have here, right off the rip, when I pulled the cards, the goat. I can't. I was like, yo, I can't even make this up. The goat, okay, the goat. They have been stubborn to release. They have been stubborn to stay away. They have been stubborn to stop what they have been doing. They don't want to stop again because they want you to stay in the trap. The trap is antiquated. The trap is old. The trap is whack. Okay, is some bullshit is what I'm saying. The trap sucks. We don't want the trap no more. We don't want it. We don't want what you have to offer. Okay? We want to live liberated, which we have a right, and we shouldn't even have this fight because we're here just like you're here. You don't own this earth. It ain't yours. It's all of ours. We don't want the trap, right? But they've been stubborn. They've been stubborn and not wanted to humble themselves and not wanted to play nice on the playground. They have not wanted to share their ball and share their little piece of candy. They've not wanted to share their wealth. They've not wanted to share anything. They've not wanted to share their luxuries. They've not wanted to share anything with anybody other than their close circles of hymns. See, these individuals have a problem with divine femininity and the rising up of divine femininity and the resurrecting of the matriarch. They're having a problem with that. They don't want that. Okay. After I got that one, I got the basic needs, food, refilling your spirit, bowl. So this is also giving that there could be something getting ready to take place in a very public way with people in high places during Capricorn season, for one. Okay, so during Capricorn season, we're going to see a change. You're going to see a change at an individual level. As we move into Capricorn season, you're going to start seeing a change. All right, this could play out in front of the masses because I don't know who and I don't know where in society they are. So what I do know is on an individual level that the mother is getting ready to come in and to rectify the situation that you've been experiencing in your meditation times, the bombardment of your personal spiritual space, the bombardment of your auric field, the bombardment of your energy field, like that is about to be rectified. So with between now and Capricorn season, these people are going to be wet with the dew from heaven. Okay? They're going to be rained upon. And in like manner, you're going to be cleansed. Okay? There's a cleansing that's coming for many of us in the collective to cleanse our energy and our path. Okay? And our path. But on the side of the hymns, those hymns, okay, they're going to be experiencing a different kind of rain, a different kind of dew, a different kind of moisture. Okay, it's going to be more along the lines of them not having a covering, not having somewhere to be where they can escape their own tears. Okay, so they're going to be weeping. They're going to be crying. They're going to be shedding tears because this is going to be a hurting of a humbling. A hurting of a humbling. This shit finna hurt for them because everything that they have done has caused so much anguish to many in the collective. They have no care and no concern about what it feels like to have your energy siphoned from somewhere by somebody that you do not know, You cannot see, but you know that they're there. They don't care how that has affected your ability to produce. They don't care about how, they don't care as long as it has affected you, as long as it has shut you down, as long as you have not been able to get up and recover. That's all they care about. But they don't care what that feels like. To have to bust through walls every day to recover your energy, to recover your zeal, to recover your passions. They don't care about that part, but they're going to care. They're going to care because they're going to be humbled. In the middle of the night, like a thief in the night, like a thief in the night, they're going to be visited. Like a thief in the night, they're going to have their peace removed. Under the cover of night, they do things so it will be in the middle of the night when they will wake up and they will not have their right mind. When they will wake up and their bank accounts have been, I don't fucking know. All right? There's been a hold on their accounts. There's a hold on their stocks. The companies are crashing. The corporations are folding. I don't give a fuck what the mother does. I know she finna do it. Because I'm hearing her say, you didn't care about what was going to be the outcome of all of the energy and spell work and witchcraft and occult shit that you were sending towards my children. You didn't care. So I don't care what happens to you. You are going to receive a hard lesson, whoever you are. Listen, let's get into this. The second row of or couple cards I got out was, I feel like you don't want me. And then I got, it's you I want. Let me help you understand something. We don't want you. We don't. We don't want nothing you have to offer. That's the whole point of growing spiritually. Again, we don't want the trap. We don't want no more of the nonsense. We don't want no more of the BS. We don't want no more of the racism, the sexism, the homophobia. We don't want no more of that shit. We don't want no more war. We don't want no more violence. We don't want no more high prices for shit that we ought to be able to get for free. We don't want to have to keep paying for water. We don't want no more. We don't. We don't want no more false religions with your false gods and your false deities. We don't. We don't want no more grapings in the middle of the night of our sacred energy. We don't want. We don't. You're right about that. We don't want you. If this is what you stand for, we don't want you. But the problem is, collective, is that they want us. They want us to stay in the trap. Okay? These cards came out as I shuffled them, and it told me everything I needed to know about the vision. Besides that scripture. They don't want to stop what they're doing because what they have been doing is the way they have maintained control. It is abusive. It is unjust. It is abusive. It is violent. The kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. It is violent. They have raped us of our spiritual gifts. They have raped us of our talents. They have used our energy to go off and create and give energy to people who have no talent. Some of you were supposed to be actors yourself, actresses yourself. Some of you were supposed to be singers, musicians. Some of you had destinies, and that path has been thwarted because they siphon energy. They siphon your energy and they give it to somebody who doesn't have half the talent you have. And you have more talent in one pinky than some people have in their whole body. And yet they will push these people in front of our face as if they're so gifted and they're so talented. And the whole time they're siphoning energy. and feeding that energy to those who are part of the hymns and the thems and the days, right? That's coming to an end. So, like I said, I do have Freemasonry out here, right? And when I thought about this and I asked the mother about this, I said, is this the organization? And to some degree, it can be. To some degree, it is, right? But not these little lower levels. Not these little lower levels. Not these little lower levels. Mm-mm. What she's telling me is that there's another realm. I don't study this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll go past it if it's relevant to what I need to understand, so on a spiritual level. But I'm not one of those, conspiracy theorists, studying the cult stuff and all of that. I don't really get into all of that. But what I'm hearing her say is that the level that we see in our communities where we have, uncles and stuff and folks a part of Freemasonry and Easter Stars and all that, that's not the level that she's talking about. There's a higher level. And maybe that's where that's coming in with the 33rd, right? So I did Google the 33rd, right? Because I wanted to understand it from a spiritual perspective. So let me see if I can find it, because I might be done closed it down. Let me see. Because you don't have to be a part of anybody's masonry to be at the 33rd. Charge my phone up before it go dead. You don't have to be a part of nobody's masonry to be at the 33rd degree. Is this it? Yes. Spiritually, the 33rd degree in Freemasonry symbolizes wisdom, spiritual perfection, and the unification of the material and spiritual realms, often seen as a pinnacle of enlightenment and mastery. Spiritual mastery, it is seen as a symbol of reaching a level of spiritual perfection, mastery, and enlightenment. Union of realms, the number 33 can represent the unification of heaven and earth, or the meeting point of the physical and spiritual world. So many of you, again, are functioning at the high priestess level. All right. And so you have been liberated already. But what they want you to do is go back into some sort of self-neglect. All right. I'm just pulling these right off as I shuffled them. They want you to go back into the karmic pattern, the karmic season that you just came out of, you already out of, right? I don't know. They choose you. All right, I have twin flames here, so many of you could be twin flames, and this is not. I am not talking about the relationships between two people. I'm not talking about that level of twin flames, because a lot like that, like the 33rd degree, and how it can mean one thing, and then like we see things on the earth plane, but then there's another more spiritual understanding of those things. I'm talking about the holder of the twin flame. You could be one person holding the power of the twin flame. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about relationships, okay, per se, between two people type twin flames. I'm not talking about that, okay. I have social media stalking. So what these people at these higher degrees of these organizations, it can be even other organizations outside of Freemasonry, but that is being highlighted right now. What they have been doing, like I said, is stalking divine beings on social media. They have been stalking divine beings on social media. Let me help you understand something. They knew who you were from the moment you were born. They just been watching you on social media, but they didn't discover you on social media. They been knew who you were from the moment you were born. Okay, so that's why the totality of your life, not just your social media, but the totality of your life has been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs. I mean, everybody has ups and downs, but I know many of you are going to feel like the ups and downs that you have experienced, seem to be very unique to you. You know what I mean? Like, you consciously know a lot of people go through things, and there could be some people who's gone through things that are much worse than yours, but that is really subjective to the person who's experiencing it, right? So there's been unique patterns of interference, that have been with you since birth, right? Many of us can attest to these different unique obstacles that we've had to face, these holding patterns, like them, like every time you try to get a little bit ahead, something is like snatching you back, or something is detouring you, or relationships and people, and it's just always something, right? So they've been knew who you were from the time you were born, because these people are master astrologers. Okay, master astrologers. Now, the next collection of cards that came out. Oh, good. I thought I was going a little longer than I. All right. The next collection of cards that came out was Seeker. Because I asked the mother to, these are the archetype cards, and I asked her to give me some archetypal energy on what's going on. So we have the Seeker, right? It says they thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. So these people are roaming the earth seeking whom they may devour, because we have sabotage here. These people go in and out of the earth and in and out of different modalities, sabotaging people. Okay, let's read the sabotage in the shadow aspect. Induces self-destructive behavior. That's what I'm talking about. That's the uniqueness that many of us have experienced. Because now that we are, more liberated, right? Now that we are sitting as high priest and high priestesses, we can kind of see how, well, damn, um, a lot of what I experienced, a lot of the loss, a lot of the hurt was at my own hands. Yes, but there is this shadowy energy. There's this shadowy something that you can see as well, influenced. Influence. That's what I'm talking about. It's the trap. It's the trap. The trap doesn't make you do it. The trap conditions you to do it. Like rats in a laboratory. The trap doesn't make you do it. They are just micro conditioning you to self-sabotage your divinity. It says induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. So these people are roaming about the world, both energetically, they've scattered themselves all over the land, seeking for people who they can cause to self-destruct, which undermines the divinity, the liberation, and the right that we all have. We have priest. We have priest. Okay? Facilitates spiritual commitments. Serves as a channel of spiritual, and this is what I'm talking about. They've been siphoning energy. They've been channeling energy from people without consent. They've been siphoning and vampiring energy without consent, committing you to things spiritually without your consent, signing your name on things without your consent. So let's read the shadow aspect, even though it came out in the upright. Violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role, King Nebuchadnezzar, which you are a king. Let's be clear. You're no priest, because there's no such thing as a priesthood. You're no priest. And what you have created your priesthood on is usurped, falsified interpretation of divine understanding that you do not understand, because you do not contain what you need to contain on the inside of you to understand it. So your false, your whole priesthood is false. Your priesthood is designed to shut down, keep down, control, silence the matriarch. We have damsel. You want the divine feminine aspect of every being, male or female. You want that divine feminine aspect in the reverse damsel energy. What does it say? Waiting for a knight to provide for you. You want the see, if y'all have not been tapping into the sacred empowerments, you must go, especially the last one when I just talked about survival being the satanic power that they use, because survival is Satan. They want your divine feminine aspect to be trapped in an energy that makes you feel as the masculine that you need to survive. You got to do this, you got to hustle over here, you got to grind over here, you got to work 4 jobs over here. Oh my God, they done took this away. They taking that away. They shutting this down. Oh my God, the violence. Oh my God, the wars. Oh my God, this, the children. Oh my God, the trafficking. They create the trap. The fucking trap. The trap. The trap is designed to keep the divine feminine aspect within every human, waiting for a knight to provide for you, seduction by romantic illusion. This is what your priesthood is about. Let's just tell the truth. There would be no priesthood if you hadn't executed this. See, the problem that the Queen of Heaven and her son, the father, had with King Nebuchadnezzar is that he erected himself as God. He erected himself as God, which called into question his ability to be humble under heaven, because you are not God. You may be king. You may have been put in a position to lead the people. You may have been put in a position to oversee the people. You have been put in a position to care for the people, but you are not God. It is not by your mighty hand that you have been given the kingdom. It is not by your mighty hand and your power that you have erected what you have erected. It is by the power of the Most High, the mother and the father. But the mother aspect, you got a problem with. Let's just go on and call a goat a goat. Let's just go on and call a spade a spade. You got a problem with the mother aspect. Because for all of the individuals, male or female, who are evolving, devolving, for all of us who are doing the work, we are doing it through our divine feminine aspect. Because you know, like we know, that you can't evolve without both aspects. But you got a problem with the feminine. You got a problem. You're arrogant. And like a goat, you have continued to ram your head up against the tree of divine femininity. And because you are stubborn, and because you do not want to use wisdom, and because you do not want to humble yourself, like a goat, you are going to from this time, Capricorn season coming in, you're going to start seeing the truth that has always been there to see. You're going to be humbled. You're going to be broken. And to everyone who has been dealing with this bombardment of energies, this falsehood, this false priesthood, there's going to be a cleansing of your energy. And you're going to escape. You're going to escape, as you always do. because you are liberated, and that is not going to be taken from you. There is no stay. There is no stay in the trap. There's no stay in the trap. We're not doing that. Many of you have had to do many egg cleansings. Shit, maybe that's why the price of eggs done went up around this bitch. And that's why they jacking up all the goddamn food and shit, because they know we are taking simple things like eggs and cleansing off their fucking energy. I'm gonna get me some chickens when I get ready. They are coming back. They are, but it is vain. It is a vain endeavor. There will be growth in business for many of you, okay? There will be growth in business. There will be growth in everything that you put your hand to. All right? Because from what I'm hearing from heaven, this has been going on long enough. Everybody knew we were moving into the age of the rising of divine femininity. Everybody knew it. Everybody should have been moving around this motherfucker accordingly. But they want to try to keep everybody in an old age where their trap was firmly laid. Well, goddamn it, it's over. It's over. I just heard her say, let my people go. Let them go. All right? Watch the mental condition of people around you. That's going to be a telltale sign of who's been a part of this situation in your life. Watch their mental. Okay? Because you're going to start seeing a lot more reprobated people who just cannot get together, cannot get it right, cannot get in line. People are going to start making weird decisions that are not in their best interest, and you're going to be wondering if they're going crazy. Okay? Because although I feel like this is metaphorical, and I know the Most High has multiple ways to humble, and a lot of this we're going to have to just kind of watch the world stage. Okay, because it's at higher levels. It's at higher levels, and I really feel like that's the realm of society she's talking about. I mean, everybody else around you at your close proximity are still going to be receiving their karma for their involvement in whatever way they were involved at just being karmic towards you, and so on and so forth. But at the higher level of society, there's about to be some recompense for this shit here. Yeah. That's what I heard. That's what I saw. Now, I have some more downloads, but I'm going to kind of give them one at a time and just work through them. So if that message resonated with you, please stay encouraged. Divine feminine, divine masculine, high priest, high priestess, stay encouraged. Like, know that what you have been gone through has been seen, has been heard. The tears you have shed, the rain you have found yourself in, your life, all of that is about to be sent back to the ones who created this trap and impeded upon your right to be free as a divine being, as a soul, as deity, as divinity. Okay? Is there anything else? She's saying for me to address, you wanted to make him understand you was spiritual. You are spirit. You are spirit. It is very difficult to fight a spirit with matter. Matter. Okay? You wanted to make him understand you were spiritual. Much of this is coming because we as divine beings are not giving up and have not given up. So if they wanted a battle, we're bringing it to them, right? Because they need to understand. And I'm also hearing the mother say, I needed them to understand that I'm still here. I needed them to understand that I am not asleep and I am not dead. I needed them to understand I needed him. The rebellious son that y'all have erected your priesthood upon, he belongs to the mother. That's her son. And she needs him to understand that she is spirit, she is life, she is creation. I like it. And I think they're going to understand it. They're going to be made to understand it. I love you. I love all of you. Thank you so much for tapping into this message. I show gratitude to the Divine Mother, to the matriarch for using me as a vessel to bring this message. And please hit the like button. Let's get the message out into the algorithm. Show your support. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome, 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 welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for tapping in here on our little corner of the internet. We are building a beautiful community. And if you are a longtime supporter and subscriber, thank you so much always for your support. And if you are just a first time viewer, please subscribe, join the tribe so we can continue to vibe. You know what I mean? And all will be well. All will be well with our souls. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next message. I have some more downloads that I'm going to come back with. So just be on the lookout for that. All right. See you on the next one. Peace, family.